Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to Nerd Tube's spoiler debate of Titan Season 3, Episode 4. Here with Scarecrow Gary. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right.
Very good, very good, very good. So, I was going to start this episode, Gary, because I thought it would be a bit more self-reflecting and everyone being unhappy that Hawk's dead and all of that bollocks. But unfortunately for Hawk, he became a quick afterthought after Connor Kent had his little moment, his little tantrum, and Dawn just deciding to disappear, even though her lover is dead. They kind of moved on from Hawk. And I'm kind of surprised by that. No Connor Kent. So for nearly majority of the episodes, like, where the fuck did he go? And where the hell did Dawn go? I mean, you would have thought Dawn would have wanted, to avenge her boyfriend's death, but no, she decides to get on a plane and vamoosh. So it became two stories here: one of Nightwing trying to get hold of Jonathan Crane and having a battle of wits between the two of them and using them as bait. And the other one was the introduction of Blackfire through Starfire, and a little tag team of Beast Boy and Starfire. So regarding the absence of Connor Kent and Dove, were you kind of unhappy about that? That they were one and done really quickly in this episode?
Well, I think they're telling good stories about both of them. I think that Dove is more or less going to say that she's going to stay with the parents. They haven't got the trope of she needs to get revenge. She's too revenge with this. It's more, I think, more realistic that she just needs time with her family and time to reflect on what's happened and stuff like that. And I think that because that felt more realistic to me, I liked that. And then kind of Ken is that was really heartbreaking when he started going about the fact that he's a half breed and that he's had and stuff like that. And it's just like, mate, you're faster than a speedy bullet, and you couldn't get there. Literally, there's nothing you could have done. But the thing is that because he still has internal strife that became outward strife, I thought. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't know what you thought of this episode, but I thought this was the best episode of the series. I'll explain why in a minute. Because this was exploring the intricacies of each individual person, that what they care about, what they are inside, despite their powers, what makes them tick as a human being, or in Coriander's case, not a human being, but what makes them tick as a person.
Actually, I just want to go on about Coriander. Has that always been her name?
Yeah. Well, Starfire was always a woman, but yes, it's been the alien princess. Yes.
God damn, like Coriander, you name yourself after a fucking herb. Just I find that a bit weird.
Yeah, but that's literally her whole name. It's like Curry Anna. And that's
Oh, okay. Here we go. We've got V-Man here with us as well. What? Hello, Vance. How you doing, mate?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are we doing?
All right.
Doing good, pal. Doing good. Just talking about this episode. You seen episode 4?
I did. I liked it. Yeah,
I thought it was okay too. It had a different pace to the previous 3 episodes. But I was just talking to Bossman here. Bossman, this is V-Man. V-Man, this is Bossman. So I was just mentioning to Bossman here about how we kind of got rid of Connor Kent and Dove very early in the episode. Like, they were in and then they were out. Like, you would have thought Connor Kent would have wanted some resolution himself, but he didn't. And Dove, obviously her boyfriend dying, you would have thought she would want revenge. I mean, Bossman came up with a good reason why not, because she wants to she's got self-reflection and shit like that. She just wants to be with her parents. But nevertheless, I'm kind of surprised that we saw them only at the beginning of the episode and we never saw them again. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, it does seem to feel like they're cramming like a lot into the whole show. Like, that part kind of seemed to be moving at a snail's pace, and I almost seem to. I almost forgot about Corey up until the whole Blackfire storyline. I'm not too interested in that whole thing. I had to be reminded that storyline from last season had been put in here. It's not really been interesting to me. What do you think about that one? Because that
Well,
for that being put into the whole bunker thing, I don't know. Like, to me, it's just like, get back to the whole Red Hood thing. I'm not really too interested in the whole.
I'll be on. I'll be honest with you, Vance. Like they kind of set it up from last season, and so I was expecting something like that, especially with the way Blackfire kind of possessed this young woman's body, this young mother's body, and left the kids behind, which is still bugging me to this day because those kids, their mom's gone.
Right.
She's been taken over by Blackfire. So I want some resolution there in that sense. Yeah, the Red Hood is there as well, but shows like this, they need to spread the wealth a little bit. I mean, how many episodes are there? 8, 10 episodes?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very hard to focus on the Red Hood without him getting, exhausting, so to speak. And nowadays superhero shows tend to have more than one villain for the good guys to deal with. So, and regarding Blackfire herself, I don't even know if she's going to be a villain in this. But the fact that she killed her parents means that she should be. Bossman, what do you think?
I thought it was a very good thinking about the internal psychology of these people. I thought that for a start, we saw inside of Connor and Garth. Like, Garth is this, like, even though he's this happy-go-lucky, like lovely kid, he does have several ways to him that he gets frustrated, and like he's somebody who who doubts himself occasionally and stuff like that. And I think it was good to see that, and like he's somebody who can be persuaded at certain ways to do stuff. I like that fact that we got to see that aspect of him. That's not necessarily a positive one. I thought I generally thought that the best thing about this episode was, do you like you said last time we saw the Scarecrow that he reminded you a lot of Hannibal Lecter?
In Haley Joel Osment's body.
Yeah, but anyway, this reminded me. I tell you what, this reminded me of, and I know that you might not have seen this, but you should do. Is Manhunter? The way it's shot.
That's Hannibal Lecter, dude.
No, I know that, but I'm saying it's Anthony Hopkins. It's flaming Brian Cox.
Brian Cox. Yeah, I've seen that. It's a long time ago, but I have seen that. But yeah, he's pulling off that same sort of vibe and stuff like that. And I did like the battle of wits, because he's a shrink in the day, and it's all about getting into people's heads. And you saw a little bit of battle of wits between Grayson and Crane, but I thought Nightwing had gone past the point of no return by breaking Crane out of jail. You can't fucking return from that. And also, it seems everybody knows that fucking like Crane knows that fucking Bruce Wayne's Batman, because they were just talking so freely about it in the cabin, which I found a bit weird. Like everyone seems to fucking know Bruce Wayne's Batman, yet nobody knows. It's a bit weird. And why is nobody spilling the beans on this as well at the same fucking time? That's valuable information for Crane, but he doesn't want to fucking talk about it to anyone. But okay. So want to get a little bit earlier on into this episode. Blackfire is possessed, by the way, and it's some sort of telepathic link she has with her sister. I never knew that her species were telepathic in any capacity. But what do you think of Blackfire? I'll start with you, V-Man. Actually, what do you think of Blackfire? V-Man?
I honestly, I'm not impressed at all with the Blackfire storyline. I find it kind of boring. In fact, that with last season's introduction to the whole Blackfire stuff, I'm just not too interested into it. I feel like I'm kind of glad they got rid of Hawk, because I feel like with the cast and everything, I feel like it's kind of inflated already. and I feel like they kind of need to get rid of some characters. You've got Barbara Gordon introduced, you've got Tim Drake introduced.
Totally
We've got
forgot about him,
Blackfire here. Yeah, I mean, it's don't forget we've still got Raven, we've still got
Donna Troy, Wonder Girl.
Yeah, that's going to be coming back. So it's like I feel like with her, I feel like for a character that I don't really give a shit about. I feel like if you're going to do Red Hood as the main villain, have Red Hood as the main villain. If you're going to do Blackfire as the main villain, have Blackfire as the main villain. So I feel like with this character, either have it be Red Hood or have it be Blackfire, because I don't know enough about the character to care. And I feel like with such an inflated cast, we're already 4 episodes in, we're almost to the halfway point, and I don't care about this storyline, don't care about the character, and they've done nothing to make me care. So I feel like with killing Hank, it's like as sad as I am to see the character go, it was a good thing because we've got a really big inflated cast. But for the Blackfire part, I just don't care,
That house should have become a crime scene, by the way. The Wayne Manor. I mean, a part of the fucking built of the house was blown to smithereens. Yet they're all still fucking living there like nothing's going on. Hank is dead. There should be police all over that fucking place.
Yeah.
But okay, fair. Fair enough. Okay. Well, Bossman, regarding Blackfire, how do you feel about her so far?
I think it's a rather lazy name, but that's just my opinion. But DC from the 60s, isn't it? But apart from that, I thought the actress who's played her is doing a really good job. I did do the fact that she's complex as well. That she wanted Corey to kill her, and Corey hesitated because I think if the situation were flipped, she would have done it. And I think that's
for sure. I agree with you there. Have you seen Invincible by any chance?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Are these like aliens that Corey and Blackfire are part of? Are they like that? Are they the same sort of like galactic conquerors? Are they of a similar vein? Because I'm not so familiar with her species, if you know what I mean.
Well, not conquerors as such. Much like a planet that is like the Federation for Star Trek. They go out to seek new people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, and like Blackfire ends up just being a bit rogue.
Yeah. So Blackfire is being basically not about this life, basically.
Okay. So I'm not sure how you guys feel about Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow, in this series so far. The actor playing him, and will he ever get his hand on any fear toxin or create a new batch of fear toxin? But what do you think of it, V-Man? What do you think of the Scarecrow so far in this series?
I think he's one of the more interesting things about the show this season. The fact that he can get inside your head, it actually, even though we all know he's a villain, there's actually moments where it's like, he brings up a lot of good points. And that's always a sign of a good villain, is when you find yourself relating to what he's saying. You're like, oh man, you tend to kind of lean toward, what the guy's saying. We all love a good villain, whether it's, Hannibal Lecter or, Dexter or whatever, we tend to kind of lean towards, a good villain. And when Jonathan Crane's talking about, Dick Grayson and how, Batman is always using, the darkness and using the kids as the darkness and whatnot, and using that stuff
and
about
fear
them
and stuff
kind of against them. Yeah. He brings up a lot of good points. So I really love the fact that he's not this, blah, ha, ha, ha type villain. The fact that, if you were to meet him, for coffee or something, he'd just be this regular guy, so I love the fact that, he's so normal, for what we're used to as Scarecrow. I really enjoy the character. So.
Well, I've always said, V-Man, never trust a shrink from Gotham, because the three most recognizable ones are all fucking crazy. You got Scarecrow, who's fucking nuts, Jonathan Crane. You got Harley Quinzel. Thank you very much, Block, for loving my shirt. You got Harley Quinzel, who's fucking insane, and you got Doctor Hugo Strange, who's fucking a nut running the fucking nut house, who's also fucking insane. So the shrink from Gotham, no, you want nothing to do with them. But I'm looking forward to the progression of Jonathan Crane. I wonder if he will be alive by the end of this season, and what's his purpose? Because the last thing, it'll be a fail on Dick Grayson's part if he somehow escapes and ends up fucking doing his fear toxin bollocks. And the Scarecrow's always been a skinny guy, and this guy looks quite chunky. He's probably been smoking too much of that fucking weed, like he was earlier on in the show, and eating fucking brownies and stuff, putting on weight in jail. Usually you lose weight in jail, I always thought. But nevertheless, it'd be interesting to see where he goes.
Well, don't forget they've been giving him some treats while he's in jail, so that might be why it's a little pudgy. So it's all good, man.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see him in that Scarecrow outfit. This fat fucking Scarecrow. But fair enough. So we have what do you think of the team up, guys, of Beast Boy and Starfire? Who honestly, I just can't stop looking at this lady. Every outfit they put on her is just like, oh my god, this woman is just so fucking beautiful. And she got so much hate because she wasn't initially what people wanted the lady to be Starfire, but she's fucking gorgeous. And when she's wearing those fucking skirts and stuff, I'm thinking, damn woman, damn. You know what I mean? It's like, you're really doing it for me right now in that fucking skirt. I'm sorry for sounding so male and chauvinistic. I do apologize.
No, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
She looked absolutely fantastic, and I loved her little tag team with Beast Boy, because usually Beast Boy's been teaming up with what's his name, Connor Kent, the last few episodes. With Connor Kent out of the picture, we saw them teaming up. We saw this dickhead in this underground bunker as well, and she threatened to burn his fucking dick off, which was really funny during the course of this episode. But we never got one moment of Beast Boy turning into a beast. But it's funny, with his green hair and his pale skin, he does look like a mini Joker at times. I'm not sure if you guys picked up on that.
Yeah. I really like the fact that she has the chemistry she has with people, but for some reason, like every time she's on screen, like the storyline that she gives with people, like the chemistry she has with the actors is great, but the storylines they always seem to give her, I always find just extremely boring. I don't know what it is. I'm never impressed. I'm never impressed with the storylines they give her. I'm looking forward. That's why I say I think like this. I think they should either choose like Red Hood or Blackfire. The storyline, like something that really shows what they can do with the character. Because I've never been impressed. I was one of the ones that I did not care for the initial look of the character, but I think the actress knocks it out of the park when she has those character moments. But I think storyline wise, I think the writers have really failed the actress, because I think she's really, really good. Kind of like how the lady who plays Michael Burnham is a really great actress, but the writers just give her shit as a character.
Green.
Yes, I'm a big fan of hers. I loved her on The Walking Dead. I love her as an actress.
You still there?
It cuts out.
Yeah, I think he cut out. Yeah. So yeah, he's by the sounds of things, Vance is not happy with some of the sort of lines she's been given in this particular, or in this show in general, I guess. I mean, she is a powerhouse as well, and I've noticed that the powerhouses, I'm not saying they get nerfed, but it's always like somebody like Dick Grayson who's front and center in the fights. When you've got someone like fucking Superboy and fucking Stargirl who could finish a fight in 5 seconds. I mean, Stargirl's not just got fireballs coming out of her arms. She's fucking strong. Very, very strong. And Superboy, well, he's obviously strong. He's fast as well, and he's highly intelligent too. So both him and Stargirl. So they've had to like use these guys in the background sense, and they're not giving them necessarily the material required to make them front and center. But if they did, they'd be so fucking OP. Someone like fucking Nightwing would be absolutely useless. But during the course of this show, we saw Nightwing and Jonathan Crane having their battle of wits, and apparently, during their battle of wits, we found out that Bruce Wayne was such a fucking nutcase that he would send children into the woods to be chased by wolves. Now,
how fucking nuts was that, dude? Dick Grayson chopped that wolf's head off. That was fucking crazy.
That was crazy. I know there'll be a lot of dog lovers who would not be happy about that, but for fuck's sake, we're talking about an animal attacking you. But why the hell would Bruce Wayne do something like that? I mean, I've seen many renditions of Bruce Wayne Batman. I never thought he would be this sort of person to do this to children, for fuck's sake. You know, no matter how fucking bizarre he is, you know, this seems beyond his character, and I'm not sure if I find this worthy of how he should be portrayed. What do you think, V-Man? Oh, sorry, go on, Bossman.
No, go ahead, V.
It really lends itself to the Dark Knight Returns Bruce Wayne. Like the people who were bitching about, I think the guy's name is Glenn, who plays Bruce in this show. People who were bitching about what is it now?
Ian Glenn from Game of Thrones.
Okay. Like the people who were bitching about him when he first came on, saying, "Oh, he looks more like Alfred than Bruce Wayne." It's like, well, first off, like if you look at the age difference between him and Dick, like it would suit him. So you know, the people who were looking at that, to me, it really fits that whole, Dark Knight Returns vibe that Bruce gives off there. And then when you put this in that context, like you could really see him pushing the Dark Knight Returns feel. And it's really creepy. And when you look at the psychology, again, with Scarecrow and talking about all this stuff in the darkness, it really gives the insight that we've all kind of needed for Bruce Wayne and Batman. And it really puts that character in a great, great context.
Yep, I mean, that's a nice way of putting it. But I just, I mean, it's just weird seeing him do something like that. I just never. I've seen other editions of renditions, of Batman, and I've seen him being a really I remember that female Robin. What was her name?
Carrie Kelly.
Yeah, I remember one he saved her, and he was being very paternal towards her after she had a massive scare, and he's wearing the Batman suit and stuff like that. I remember as well, this maybe it was Ratcatcher or somebody like that. He was enslaving children, and how pissed off he was about that in the animated series. That was the sort of Batman I knew, like somebody who cared for people, really genuinely cared for people. He put his life on the line. So to see him to put children's lives in danger, in front of wild animals, just seemed a bit weird for me personally. But I understand where you're coming from. Bossman, what do you think?
Well, I think that this is one reason why I know that you don't care for the class. I know that last week you and Bob talked about the casting of Ian Glenn as Batman, but I think this is one reason why it works. That he looks like the sort of person who would do something like that. That he because he has a face that looks like he's lived a life. If that makes sense.
Well, he's part of Umbrella Corp, by the way. Remember that.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so I think that he's trying to make sure that they can cope. I mean, I'm sure that he was always there looking around it, but he just wanted to make sure that they were prepared for the mission. And I think that sort of speaks to the psychology. Now, I don't think that's really. I mean, truthfully, I know people are going to, but I think I don't care for this particular portrayal of Batman because Batman cares about people. Because Batman is the sort of person who, in the past, has rescued a cat out of a tree from firing people. Batman is the sort of person who called Kelly a good soldier. That's the sort of person he is. Yeah,
in season 2, he kind of had that, kind of post Adam West vibe, you could almost see him doing the Batman dance, in this season.
He did do a dance, by the way. He did do a dance in season 2, if you remember. So yeah,
right. You definitely don't get that you definitely don't get that vibe this season, especially when he's almost in a mental breakdown, asking Dick to be Robin again. Like there's something almost pathetic about Batman this season, almost heartbreaking, tragic, I would say. And the fact that, as impressive as it was when Scarecrow is running off and he gets caught in the trap, and he's up in the tree. Like I was sitting there and I kind of paused it when I was watching, and I was like, just thinking about the time that it would take Batman to do all these things, and then realizing like this is a guy that has spent his entire life just preparing for this war, and that's exactly how he sees it, war. And that's the mental state that this Batman is in, and he's mentally broken. And I think that's the only way to look at this Batman is he's a guy who is mentally broken. He's not, he's not necessarily that guy who would help a cat out of a tree. But I do feel like that is the state of mind that this guy is in, broken.
I just want to also add that, I mentioned about all the British actors who have played Batman. England is another one. He's Scottish to be more precise, but still British. And that makes the last 3 Batmans, the last 3 out of 4 Batmans British. Ben Affleck being the one saving grace for you Americans. But yes, it makes me very happy to see that we're taking over slowly but surely.
But the good thing is that they're taking the time telling a really good story, because again the thing is that we're getting all these subplots that are leading to the good story. The main story is about Jason Todd and who he is now, because seriously in the comics I was never invested in the whole Red Hood stuff. It was never for me, whereas in this show I don't know what it is, and I think it's the way they're doing it. I'm invested. I want to see how they're going to deal with Jason Todd, because he knows every single trick they're going to do, and that's something that I don't think the comic really dealt with, that he knows every single move they're going to make before they're going to make it, sort of thing.
I'm not sure how I feel about Jason Todd being like, regarding how organic it feels, it just doesn't feel organic enough. Like what we've seen of Jason Todd so far is that he is a strong-willed character who can fight and can take care of himself, no doubt. But like a smart brain genius type character, a sleuth, a problem solver and all of that. I'm not so sure, and so I'm kind of surprised at how he was able to be several steps ahead of the rest of the Titans. I know he knows them and he understands them, but some of his plans were like, "Wow, this is just too smart for you, kid." Yes, you seem to know all of this shit. I'm very impressed, but you just never came across as that character, in the previous seasons. So,
I think,
go on.
I think it's kind of like how Scarecrow said he kind of built him back up. How he was, kind of broken, and he just kind of, rebuilt what was already there.
When did they have these interactions? Like
that is
how did they have these interactions?
Yeah, it was only over the span of like a couple of weeks, because I mean he fucking died, and it was like, wait a second, what? I mean, there's no scarring, there's no like, where's the, like, dude, I thought you'd be bruised as shit, like what?
Mm-hmm.
But hey guys, I gotta go. My son's getting out of school right now, so I gotta go, guys. But thank you very much for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
No problem, Vance. Nice having you on. Take care.
Thank you. See, are you gonna be tonight on Critical Not Cynical, Zam?
Yeah, I am. Is Frank going to be available for that?
What's that now?
Is Frank going to be available?
I don't think so. I'll hit you up. I don't want to take too much time for your. I don't want to take time away from your show. I'll talk to you about it later on. Have a good night, guys.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye, guys.
That was kind of. He makes a good point, actually. One thing we should have seen on Jason's body or in his face or something. It's some battle scars from the beating he took from the Joker, but he's got none of that. And in this episode as well, he kind of played not even second fiddle, like third fiddle, because we never really got to see him much. We saw him a little bit at Arkham, a tiny bit, and obviously in the woods in the end when Dick was trying to trap him. But other than that, we didn't get much of him in this episode. He got shot by Dick got shot by a police officer, and then fucking thingy ran away. Dick goes into the hut to check on Jonathan Crane, but he used Jonathan Crane as bait to fucking lure out fucking the Red Hood in the first place, and he had that shield anyway. So why the fuck was he worried about that? So it was a bit weird, the ending. By the way, I'm not sure if I was really satisfied by it.
He wasn't going to be. I knew he wasn't going to be there. I knew he was going to escape.
Yeah. I mean, because we've got a long way to go.
As I said, I want to see what this Scarecrow looks like in full costume. Because I'm so used to looking at Cillian Murphy doing it. Because I mean, I don't think it's going to be a controversial comment, but I'd love Cillian Murphy as the Scarecrow in all three of the Batman movies. He was so
Cillian Murphy's, I liked him as Scarecrow too. He's got the physique for it. He's skinny ass, man. You know what I mean? And he's a bit, he's a bit deranged. I wish we got more of him in the sequels. Like, he cameoed a little bit at the beginning of Dark Knight, and he played the judge in Dark Knight Returns. But that was about it. I would like to see them use more of that toxin and just be that reoccurring villain who causes a lot of shit. But we never really got that from him, unfortunately, in the sequels. But this Scarecrow, what do you think? Are you happy with him?
He's
Stoner Scarecrow, Hannibal Lecter Scarecrow.
I like it because we do not know what he's capable of doing. Because he's as you said, the Hannibal Lecter of this particular version of the Titans. Because he's not doing the Andy Hopkins, all that sort of stuff. He's not like he's softly spoken. He's like, Bruce and
he's a source of information. That's what he is. He's
just saying stuff about Bruce and stuff like that. It's like, so the Scarecrow knows that Batman is Bruce. Like, he does. When did that happen? And then he's like saying, and then like you find out that he's escaped. It's like, well, how are they going to deal with that threat? Because not only have they got, the Red Hood, they've got the Scarecrow, who is one of the biggest villains in the DC universe.
Do you think the Scarecrow is being reformed? No. You don't think he's becoming?
I think that whole thing was a diversion. I think that the reason that he shanked him is that he knew the way that the Titans were going to react. I think it's all a part of the scheme that he wants to use whatever fear toxins as a way to deal with the Titans.
Oh yeah, he needs to make fear toxin though, unless he's got a few batches available.
Well, that's what Puffin the Magic Dragon's about.
Yeah, that could be a version of it, but then again, Red Hood, Jason Todd was studying chemistry, which means that he could be making the fear toxin himself, and probably needs Jonathan Crane to. Well, but then again, he was trying to get him killed. But unless you're right regarding that all just being a diversion, so you can get Jonathan Crane for himself to make more of the fear toxin, and then rule Gotham in that particular way. I mean, there's all manners of twists available when it comes to that in the future. But yeah, we're left with not really a cliffhanger as such, but Red Hood has escaped. I'm sure we'll see him again very soon, maybe the next episode. Blackfire now has kind of become part of the team, not part of the team. I'm sure Starfire will be keeping eyes on her to make sure she doesn't lose her shit. It'll be interesting to see how she interacts with the other team members as well, because I think she'll lose her patience with someone like Beast Boy and someone like I think she'll hit on Connor. I can see that. Because Connor is possibly a threat, and if she can make Connor an ally, that would be better for her. So she might hit on him, and he's got the Lex Luthor part of him as well. So it might work. You never know. Yeah, I'm putting my money on that. That's where my money's going. Blackfire is going to hit on Connor Kent and try to have an alliance with Superboy.
Okay, I can see that, but I can see that maybe he doesn't go for that because he wants to be more like Clark Kent than he does like Lex Luthor.
He might look like but he's still naive. Remember, he's like
It's like a kid, yeah.
He's like he's still a kid, really. Like, he's not as old as he looks, and so he's very impressionable in my opinion, and can still be molded in different ways. But he's got a heart of gold and stuff like that, and maybe Blackfire will try to take advantage of that as well. And Dick Grayson, obviously, he's so focused on fucking trying to get the Red Hood that he probably won't give a shit about Blackfire until it's too late as well.
But I've got to say that you are absolutely right about the actress who plays Starfire. She's a very, very attractive woman.
God, man, she's unbelievably attractive. Because
I mean, she's not thick in the usual, like lady, because like she's not exactly a big lady. She's like, but she's very demure, like the green eyes.
She's got it all in the right places, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and plus the thing is that she like she has that really like she has a really beautiful voice and stuff like that. I was like,
and you can't blame that shrink for booty calling her in the first episode.
It's so creepy.
Well, you can't blame him, man. Like, Jesus Christ, she's gorgeous and she's a superhero, and he's got some sort of affiliation with her, so he's trying his luck. And unfortunately for him, his luck ran out. And even when she was calling him for help, he was still hoping that maybe he can get a reach around.
Is that good? You're at the airport. Do you want me to pick you up?
Yeah.
I could be there in my Mercedes anytime. It's like, come on, man. Like the worst trick of all time.
Yeah,
you're
right. Yeah, but she's dropped dead gorgeous, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's very hard for us guys to see.
If this would have been like one of the funniest scenes of all time, it's like the cut to him and he's like there, like in like a smoking jacket with a wine going. So what are you wearing? And so that would have been that would have been so well.
Yeah, for sure. So we still have to wait for Raven and the resurrection of Donna Troy to come back. When will we see them? Next episode?
I reckon it'll be 2 episodes time for Donna personally. In my opinion,
I'm not missing. I mean, I'm looking forward to Donna Troy coming back. And by the way, the actress who plays it looks like she could have played Wonder Woman for real. You know what I mean?
Well, she's ripped.
Yeah. But I'm not missing Raven at all. And if Raven doesn't come back, I don't care. How about you?
So, well, I'm fine with it in either way. Is there any part? Well, I know that you guys don't like particularly like Commissioner Gordon as this particular actress, or like because you think she's a bit too young, or you don't.
No, I just think that she should have been. I'm not saying I don't like her, but like she's a fucking commissioner, dude. Commissioner, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. It's like, how do you like when did you ever have a chance to be a police officer for you to and you're a Batgirl as well, and then like you end up being fucking commissioner? Like, come on. I know she's a very intelligent woman, Barbara Gordon, but Jesus Christ, look at her age. She shouldn't be fucking commissioner, dude. It's crazy. But it's nepotism 101 because her dad was fucking commissioner. That's the way it looks like.
So what would you say is there any particular part of this season that you like? Because I've got to say, this is the best season of Titans by quite some distance so far.
Yeah, this is much better than the previous seasons. For a start, there's a lot less melodrama. It's focusing on current events. There's no flashback episodes, hardly any origin other than what we got with Red Hood, and even that was inevitable. But I don't mind that too much because that was an origin I was looking forward to. But it's just nice to have an established team with established players, and they're ready to rock and roll. And usually shit like that does take, for like a show to really find its feet, sometimes it takes up to the 3rd season for it to do so. And this show, I think, has finally found its feet. It's no longer, trying to be itself. It is itself. and I appreciate it for what it is now. I like it a lot. Roll on season 4 already, even though we're still in the middle of season 3.
Well, again, like, because I was wondering what season 4 is going to be. Is it going to be the? Is it going to be the? Is it going to be the Judas? The Judas thingy.
Well,
We
we'll
kind
get
of
an
did that
idea.
season 2.
We get an idea for that once we get to the end of this season. And even though I'm happy that I believe a season 4 is in the works. I'm happy that it is in the works because this is a really good show. This is really what is so fascinating about this is that this is like the kids of the superheroes, like the teenage sidekicks and stuff. Yeah, it's so adult. Like these teenagers are pretty much adults anyway. They're not teenagers at all. Dick Grayson's not a child. Starfire's not a child. Beast Boy's pretty much become a man now. Connor Kent, even though he's young, he's physically a man. So they're not kids, but it's about the younger members of the superheroes. Yeah, it's very adult, and I do like it. Like the amount of fucking swearing and stuff like that. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. That's what I love about DC.
Well, this was like a very the swearing. It wasn't the swearing for no reason though, which would have made me not like it. To be honest, because I don't mind swearing. What I do mind swearing is when it's swearing for no reason, if that makes sense. Whereas
I agree.
Like it's swearing to affect it's like literally when they're upset or when they're like upset.
Expressing themselves, I'm fine with that. All of that, is good, but it's how I, as an adult who's watched comics since I was a kid, this is how I want to see my comic book material now. With being a superhero is about life and death. It's not all sunshine and fucking rainbows and smiley faces and wham, bow, pow, wow, and all that sort of shit you see in the Adam West sort of stuff. It's much more serious than that, and I'm glad they're taking that side to it. That's how it should be. That's how I want it to be. And I want more of this in the future. When it comes to the Marvel stuff, the only stuff I can think of, which is remotely adult, is the old Blade films with Wesley Snipes. But other than that,
what about Deadpool?
Say again.
Deadpool.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about Deadpool, but it's funny in a way. Like Deadpool is adult, but it's very childish in its adult humor, if you know what I mean. And I've never. The funny thing is, and I know we're going on a tangent here, but I've never appreciated Deadpool the way everyone else does. I think he's just okay. Everyone else has a real sing for Deadpool. I don't. I genuinely don't. Like, I don't give a fuck about his fucking fart jokes and his dick jokes and his masturbation jokes. And, some of it makes me like roll my eyes. I mean, it's just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan fucking Reynolds.
Well, yeah, the bad language is this is more frustration, or it's when somebody is generally cross about something or something like that. It's not just doing it for what's the word? No effect.
It's like you've seen the Snyder Cut.
I have.
Like when Batman's talking to the Joker and says, if you mess with me, I'll fucking kill you. He goes like that to him. And that's what I want. That's what it's about. The emotion. That's what I want from it. Not stupid fucking idiotic humor, which is what Deadpool is, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm the fucking, I'm the. Something. It's weird in a way. Something like Deadpool should appeal to me with who I am as a person, but it doesn't. I got through Deadpool 1 and 2. I didn't mind it, but I just never was on the bandwagon everybody else was regarding those movies. I thought it was fucking stupid, really fucking stupid at times. But that's just me, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So you got any more to say about episode 4, mate?
Just I think that the Gotham PD aren't as incompetent as I thought they were. That's what I think.
Incompetent?
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't as incompetent, yeah. Well, then again, remember, Barbara Gordon, she is part of the Bat family, so she knows things, if you know what I mean. So having her on board is always going to help. So yeah, and she definitely looks like an amputee, by the way, because she's only got one fucking leg. So it'll be interesting to see if she ever gets out the wheelchair and becomes Batgirl again, because there have been versions of that.
She does in the comics.
Yeah. So
she has like some sort of operation, and she's able to like walk.
I was never a fan of the Killing Joke. I was never a fan of her being put in a wheelchair, because when I first came across Barbara Gordon, not necessarily first came across, but when I saw like different versions of her, it was from Batman Beyond when she was Commissioner Gordon in that, and she was walking around in charge and stuff, and I thought that's the Barbara Gordon I like, not this fucking Oracle in a fucking wheelchair bollocks. So I hope she gets out of it soon, to give her a fucking artificial leg, whatever. I would like to see her in a Batgirl suit, because she's a Titan in her own sense as well. So I wouldn't mind that. And I'm starting to push towards seeing Ian Glenn in a Batman suit, to be honest. Just maybe not necessarily do too much, but it would be nice. And we have heard of people like Superman in this universe, Wonder Woman's in this universe. So at some point, it would be nice to see them, not necessarily take over and fix shit, but it would be nice just to see them in some capacity. I'm not sure if they'll ever get Gal Gadot to be in this. I doubt it.
Well, they could just get another actor, because like they have like in the Arrowverse. I hate calling it that, but the Arrowverse has got another actor who plays Superman, and he does a perfectly fine job.
Yeah. He can be. I'm fine with him being in it, but there's nobody else who at the moment is playing Wonder Woman other than Gal Gadot, is it?
Well, nobody they could cast somebody. I'm trying to think who could do it. Like there are plenty of actresses who, like I said,
but
the one that. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying that I think if they reveal her, now, I think it's going to be underwhelming. It would have been somebody they should have had ages ago.
It could be, what's his name? It could be Gina Carano, because everyone's been talking about that for ages.
I don't think Gina Carano is going to go anywhere near this shit. I think she's Gina Carano, in my opinion, is Ben Shapiro bargain basement DVDs, because that's where her career is going right now. She's never, she had the best thing ever with Star Wars, and she fucking blew it. She fucking blew it, man. And now,
because she's right wing.
Well, because of her stupid comments, and now she's just a bit too toxic and stuff like that, and nobody wants anything to do with her. That's why nobody's hiring her. She's doing B movies, dude, and I think. I mean, she would have been a great Wonder Woman. I'll be honest with you; she would be fantastic. But maybe they won't have a Wonder Woman in the show. But I wouldn't mind. I mean, we've already seen Batman, so I wouldn't mind somebody else. But anyway, it's not too much of a big deal. End of the day, it's about the Titans. Last thing they need is a fucking shadow casted over them. So, mate, I'm going to wrap this shit up right now. Any more to say before we end the show? Great stuff. Okay, so we'll be on possibly tomorrow talking about God knows what. Maybe doing a fan film reaction or something along those particular lines. And you should see me later on No Budget Productions at about 4 a.m. UK time. I'll be getting some sleep soon, so I can fucking do that shit. And hopefully you'll be seeing me for critical but not cynical. I like to call it cynical but not critical. But nevertheless, you'll see me for that. Maybe reviewing some Star Trek projects, which will be interesting, seeing my perspective on it. Cousin Cheeto usually does it, but I'll be doing it this time because Cousin Cheeto is unavailable. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, Bossman, for joining me. And we'll see you cunts later. Bye-bye.
Latest.